To some, this little piece of metal represents 26.2 miles, but to me, it's more than that. It's the early mornings, months of training, sore legs, and that voice that once said, "You can't do it." That was until I proved it wrong. It's not only proof that I finished, but it's proof that I started. Running the New York City Marathon wasn't just about crossing that finish line. It's always been about seeing what I was made of and what the city could teach me along the way. The New York City Marathon, 26.2 miles, 5 boroughs, 59,226 finishers, all with one dream, and that was to cross that finish line and get this. But this trip wasn't just about running. It was about meeting new, amazing, inspirational people who I got to share this amazing experience with and chase a goal that once felt impossible. That was until it wasn't. If you're new here and don't know how I got to this point of being able to run this amazing marathon in New York, I won a competition on the running channel, and this is how I found out.
Draw for the New York City Marathon competition, and I'm really excited to say to you that we would love you to come with the running channel to run the New York Marathon this year.
Oh my god. That's, yeah, sort of had an inkling, but it can't be me. It's never me, so why would it be me on this spot? Oh my god, thank you.
It can be you, it absolutely can be you. I was so buzzing to make this call, and I know lots of other people in the club are going to be really disappointed, but we'll follow up with some exciting competitions for them as well. But yeah, we're really excited that it's you. It's great to meet you now, and I guess how do you feel?
I can't put it into words. Oh my god, it's that marathon is like on the bucket list for me. I never thought I'd be able to do like one of the big ones, to be honest with you. But I'm lost for words, but oh my god, thank you so much.
Oh, you are incredibly welcome.
Now, I'm still in shock to this day about how I won, but let's fast forward. My first ever marathon in the city that never sleeps. Here's what happened. So the journey started with a long 2-hour car journey down to London Heathrow, where I dropped my car off at the long stay car park and headed through the terminal to face that daunting task of flying on a plane on my own. As part of this whole experience, the running channel will be producing a documentary style video on this whole trip with loads of other details and things like that. So this video is just about filling some of those gaps. At JFK Airport in New York, and after what seemed like a very long 7-hour flight and a further 2-hour delay in passport control, I was greeted in arrivals by Owen, Tom and Jess from the running channel. And Jess was holding up this sign. What an entrance into the country. Now fast forward to getting to the hotel and my room, and all three of them had a second surprise waiting. They had got me loads of New York inspired goodies and some running channel stash, which was totally amazing. So just to give you a bit of a guided tour, this is what I came into for the bathroom. So there's me and look at all these nice messages that I got from the running channel crew. Really nice. Don't know whether you can read those. And they are wipeable as well, so I can get rid of this. But look at all these messages from members of the running channel club. Like really nice touching messages on here. So I'm going to keep every single one of those. And just store it in my mementos from this trip. So these are the notes that I got from people in the running channel club, so I will definitely keep and treasure these forever. So I did remove all of the post-its from the bathroom and I placed them on the table in the main part of the room so that I could always refer back to them for the rest of the trip. And if anyone from the running channel club is watching this and left one of those messages that you've seen on there, then thank you, it means so much. My room was situated at the back of the hotel, but as you can see here, the view wasn't too bad. Now in this vlog, I'm not going to be spoiling all of the surprises that I got, as that will be in the main video. So here's just a few snippets in here. Now one of my limitations that I mentioned to him before the trip was to do with heights and the fact that I'm not a huge fan of heights. So one of the first places that we went to following the marathon debrief was on top of the rock at the Rockefeller Center. And to be honest, I had one of the best times in one of the best viewpoints in New York. And I could have easily given the experience 10 out of 10 because I absolutely loved it. And I also loved doing a bit of presenting here. So Owen's hijacked my camera and So far this morning we've had a marathon debrief, and now they're taking me on some surprise locations. So the first one is being at the top of the Rockefeller Center, but look at this amazing view. And usually I'm not very good with heights, but I'm actually fine, and it means I can experience all of this in like amazing wonder without having the jelly legs to go with it. So amazing, and can't wait for what else is in store later on. Later we went to the Marathon Expo at the Javits Centre. Now I've never experienced an expo before, and the only thing near to something like that would be going to visit the National Running Show every year. So we went to the expo where we picked up our race bibs. Jess was also running the New York City Marathon in what would be her 37th marathon of the year, and she's aiming to do 42 marathons in total in 2025 in honour of her brother and supporting two charities, Air Ambulance UK and the Big Moose charity. I'll leave links to both of those down below. So here is my New York City marathon number, 64889, forever my 2025 marathon number. Then we went to the High Line, which is a public park in Manhattan built on a historic elevated rail line, which reminds me of rooftop gardens and walkways. And during this time, as you can probably tell, it was very windy.
What is that? Why is it there? I want it. I need to know these things.
So we're 24 hours away from the New York City Marathon, and I'm just about to get ready for the 5k Shakeout Run. So I'm probably about 20 minutes or so before I have to go downstairs to do that. But I just wanted to make this segment just about how I'm feeling about tomorrow, and I feel really nervous. I don't know why. I think it's just that it's 24 hours from that thing that you've just been building up to for me for the last 6 months. So I just feel really nervous. The few doubts have crept in. I don't know why, but because I think my overall goal for tomorrow is just getting it done. If there is a time that I am going for, but it's not the be all and end all. The main thing, the main A goal is just completing it, and everything else after that is a bonus. I'm really looking just to accomplish just crossing that finishing line. So that's my main goal, but I don't know why I'm just feeling like I'm doubting myself for some reason. I don't know why. I'm putting the hard work. This is, as people say, the victory lap. So I think it's just because it's just getting really close now, and we went to the Expo yesterday, which was really amazing. Collected my bib number, which I'll go and get. So that's my bib number, 64889. That's my bib number. That's going to be my New York Marathon number forever. That is, so 64889. I need to remember that. Oh no, I've not forgotten it ever since I did get it a few weeks ago. So yeah, just feeling a bit nervous, and I just can't wait at this moment. So I'm probably waffling on a little bit here. So about to do the Shakeout Run. We've got a few more things planned for today as well. So I'll probably see you at some point tomorrow or later on, just how I'm feeling 12 hours before the marathon tomorrow. So I'll see you later. So we did the Shakeout Run, and to be honest, those doubts that I was talking about there lessened because of this run. I think I just needed to have a run in New York just to settle myself, which definitely worked.
I like the outfit, it's cool.
I just realised I went orange, super orange. Put this on, I was like, I don't usually go full colour things like this. Well, when in New York.
Yeah. No, it looks really cool. All the patterns actually kind of fit as well. Could have a camo design on top.
Yes. Almost every race I've done it in this stuff. And the first race I did in this stuff wasn't very complimentary.
Oh really?
And so I've used every race photo that I've got with this, even though I'm not doing it in this one tomorrow, as a gauge of where I am on my fitness.
That's cool.
So now from being like really tight to being like really loose,
Yeah,
and it's
that's awesome.
yeah.
It's actually really nice way of measuring it. Oh, sign came up.
Yeah, it goes off the goes on that house. It's still recording. But
Oh, sorry.
after like a minute.
There's me just like, no!
In between all of these activities, there were moments where we were filming to camera, doing interviews and things like that, which again you'll see in that running channel video. But one of those scenes was riding on a horse-drawn cart in Central Park. I even got to see Jess, Tom and Owen filming the intro to the main video. Now I don't get to do this sort of thing at all these days, so to be able to get to do things and go to places that you only ever see on TV or in films is totally amazing. So the night before the marathon, that means one thing, a flat lay, of course. Trainers, loads of gels, running channel kits, running vest, all sorted and ready. At this point, I was definitely feeling ready. The day started off very fortunately. I needed to get to Whitehall Terminal from the hotel to get the Staten Island ferry. I was going to get a taxi by myself, but I met a very kind woman called Celia who is actually in the Running Channel Club too and was heading to the same place to get the ferry to the start, the same as me. And she said I could jump in the taxi with her. So I'm forever grateful to you, Celia. And if you're watching this, thank you. So we get to Whitehall Terminal where we board the Staten Island ferry. This one was called Dorothy Day. Cross the New York Harbour to St George Terminal on Staten Island, and as you can see the views were spectacular, and in the distance there you can see the Verrazano Bridge, the start point of the marathon. The journey across New York Harbour only took about 25 minutes to St George Terminal, where we walked through the terminal. We waited a bit to board buses onto the start village at Fort Wadsworth, which took another 45 minutes or so. And then we got to the start village and I got my first closer glimpse of that Verrazano Bridge. In the race village itself, I got prepped, I ate a bagel, did my stretches, and after about an hour, my wave, number 5, the last wave to depart at about 11:30 was called. So the hordes of people made their way to the appropriate corrals, mine being pink corral D. After a brief wait, we were finally called to make our way to the start line, where we were greeted by really loud cannons to make the start of our marathon. Now there are 2 running routes across the Verrazano Bridge. On the top section, which you'll see all the amazing pictures from, or the section underneath, which is where everyone wearing pink started. The bridge itself is just under 2 miles long, and although there weren't any spectators at this point, you've got that adrenaline pumping just from starting the marathon with so many other like-minded people. When we got out from the bridge back onto land in Brooklyn, our second New York borough, after starting on Staten Island, onto this highway, and as you can see, blue skies, and at this point it was getting a bit warmer. Around mile 2 we finally encountered our first crowd, which was definitely needed at that point. Just after the 5k mark, the pink wave finally met up with the other waves. And it's an understatement to say that the crowds were amazing, so loud and enthusiastic, cheering your name, singing songs, just supporting these strangers just running through their streets. Now I'm not going to take you through a step-by-step rundown of what happened during the middle part, so let's fast forward to here. When I look back at how this race went, I loved every moment of it, the good and the bad. The crowds were amazing, my overall performance amazing, but those long straights where you can see miles where you've got to run, and the Queensborough Bridge. Many people talk about this bridge and just how mentally challenging it can be when you step onto the bridge. At mile 15, things are starting to ache. People around you are starting to struggle, but this is where we struggle together. No spectators at any point along this bridge, and you definitely feel that lack of support from the sidelines at the moment when you need it the most. This definitely was hard for me, but as you start on that downhill segment towards the end of the bridge, you can hear the crowd noise coming from the streets of Manhattan, and for me and others, you feel that pull, and then you hit the street and bang, the crowd noise hits you. I was starting to ache. I can't quite remember where this was. I think it was between mile 20 and 21, so I'm most likely in the Bronx at this point. My calf was really starting to hurt, and to add to the pain, so are my hamstrings and quads. The run-walk method was definitely on course for the rest of this race. I'd seen the 5-hour pacer pass me not too long before this moment, and that had been my B goal. But after the inevitable disappointment, I made the conscious decision to put it behind me and remember my main A goal, just to complete the marathon. And that was what I always wanted to do, and I needed to remind myself that this was my first marathon, and how much I wanted that medal around my neck, and that kept me going. Here we're back in Manhattan, and we've just entered Central Park, which seemed like almost the end until you realise that moment that you've still got over 2 miles to go. These are the moments where you're tested, those dark moments, the places you've never been before, the distances that you've never run before. You're breaking new ground, and you should be proud. Let's skip forward 800 metres to go.
To go. It's good. Everything's hurting. Quads, hamstrings, everything's hurting.
Then you see the finish line and you just go for it. I decided a while back that I was going to start running no matter what when I saw the finish line, and that's what I did. This was the moment I'd craved for. This one single moment. The only time I'd ever get to complete my first marathon, and I was going to do it here in this amazing city. Hands held high for that finish. There has never been a single moment that I've been more prouder of myself than right now, because I'm a marathoner.
Yes, good work, good work. Here we go. We're gonna cross the finish line right now. All right, I have to give a shout out to
And that crowning moment, the medal, this medal, my medal, that will forever say that I ran the New York City Marathon on the 2nd of November 2025.
Did it.
And that was the New York City Marathon done. Now, after the excitement of the marathon the day before and all of the aches and pains that came with it, the final day's activity involved a sightseeing tour of New York by boat along the Hudson River, the East River, and across the New York Harbor to see the Great Lady herself, the Statue of Liberty.
It's all in view. Everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful. Lost in the wonder, caught up in colors that I've never seen before. Everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful. The highs and the lows, the places we go. Adventure is waiting, dreams for the taking. It's all right here. The triumph and tears, the facing of fear. Adventure is calling, everything you wanted. It's all right here. Everything is beautiful.
New York City, what an amazing place. I've been here before, 35 years ago when I was 3, and I can't remember anything from that trip. But this time I've definitely made memories that will last a lifetime. Met some amazing people in Owen, Jess and Tom who welcomed me into their circle and treated me like a mate. And I truly appreciate everything they did for me on this trip. The whole trip, it felt like it went really quick. That build up to the marathon, and then it was over and I was flying back home. The marathon and everything about it, the build up, the race, the aftermath, amazing. I've been so lucky to be in this position thanks to the running channel, and I'll be forever grateful for allowing me to do this hardest thing I've ever done. But during this process I've grown as a person and thrown myself into situations that I never thought I'd be comfortable in. Yes, there were difficult moments where I had to walk, take my time, reassess and go ahead, but now I'm sitting here with this medal, grateful of this process. I may have got 5 hours, 13 minutes and 10 seconds, but gives me a target for my next marathon, London, in April, trying to get that sub 5.
The car's packed.
and getting ready to drive back home from Heathrow. It's been an amazing time. I hope you've enjoyed this mini vlog series about my first trip to New York for the New York City Marathon. So if you enjoyed, press the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos, hopefully like this, and I'll see you on the next one.